Hey guys, it's Ben Eubanks, and I wanted to share three quick quotes that I heard this morning during a panel discussion. Three of the SHRM leaders up there, and they were talking about different areas they're focusing on. Eric Peterson talked about diversity and inclusion, and his quote was, "It's important to separate the things that a 20-year-old does because they're 20 years old and something that a 20-year-old does because they're in a generation that grew up a different way than someone who's 30 or 40 or 50. I've always been kind of love-hate on the whole generation debate and things like that, but that really kind of puts it in perspective, and I like how it splits up the two different things. You know, don't just say this because I'm 20 years old, say it because this is how I grew up or whatever else. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Next up, Lisa Horn spoke about workplace flexibility, and the thing she said, it's not just for women, and that's so simple, but I had to laugh because I'm a new dad of 4-month-old twins now, and since the girls were born, it has radically changed how I feel about workplace flexibility. It was always something that was kind of, that's important, but I never paid much attention to it until I needed it, and we're that way with a lot of things, but we need to remember that. A lot of people talk about workplace flexibility thinking mom's got to drop the kids off and pick them up and get home and cook dinner or whatever else, and the workplace has changed so much that who knows what that can mean, whether it's you're caring for elderly parents, you're kind of sandwiched between parents and kids. There are all kinds of things in life that change, that require some flexibility, and so that was her little quote. And finally we had Curtis Midkiff, and someone actually asked the question, hey, instead of talking about how social media can help, we know why we should use it, tell us how someone has used it as kind of a best practice or whatever else. Tell us how someone's done something well with it. And he shared that the people that are putting on state conferences or regional whatever, when they're putting those conferences on, for the normal thing, it just goes. People come to the conference, they stay there 2 or 3 days, they go home, and it's finished. Well, if there's an element of social media in there, like the SHRM National Conference this year or whatever else, people come and they talk about it for weeks beforehand, they talk about it for weeks after, they share the things they've learned, and it's just a big conversation around it. And from that, it's start building up some interest in the coming events and things like that. You can learn what people want to hear, what people enjoyed, what they didn't really like, and it's definitely worth it to include that element of social and things. Again, that's Curtis.